Hi guys! So do I have a book for you. It's called The Unteachables by Gordon Korman, and we have read another book by him called The Ungifted. He is a really funny writer, and when I was putting some books away today, I found this one and I thought this would be perfect. So let me read you the inside cover. The Unteachables are a notorious class of misfits, delinquents, and academic train wrecks. Like Arlo in anger management issues, Parker, who can't read, Kiana, who doesn't even belong in this class or any class. The Unteachables have been removed from the student body and isolated in room 117. Their teacher is Mr. Zachary Kermit, the most burned out teacher in all of Greenwich. He was once a rising star, but his career was shattered by a cheating scandal that still haunts him. After years of phoning it in, he is finally 1 year away from early retirement. But the superintendent has his own plans to torpedo that idea, and it involves assigning Mr. Kermit to teach the Unteachables. The Unteachables never thought they'd find a teacher who had a worse attitude than they did, but Mr. Kermit never thought he would actually care about teaching again. Over the course of a school year, though, room 117 will experience mayhem, destruction, and maybe even a shot at redemption. All right, chapter 1. Kiana. It's no fun riding to school with Step Monster, not with Chauncey screaming his lungs out in the back seat. Don't get me wrong, I'd cry too if I just figured out that Step Monster is my mother. But at 7 months old, I don't think he's processed that yet. He just cries. He cries when he's hungry, he cries when he's full, he cries when he's tired, he cries when he wakes up. Basically, any day that ends in a Y, Chauncey cries. There also seems to be a connection between his volume control and the gas pedal of the SUV. The louder he howls, the faster Step Monster drives. "Who's the happy baby?" she coos over her shoulder into the back seat, where the rear-facing car seat is anchored. "Who's the happy big boy?" "Not Chauncey for sure," I tell her. "Hey, school zone, you better slow down." She speeds up. Motion is soothing to a baby. Maybe so, but as we slalom up the driveway, swerving around parked parents dropping off their kids, and screech to a halt by the entrance, it turns out to be one motion too many. Chauncey throws up his breakfast. Suddenly there's cereal on the ceiling and dripping down the windows. That's another thing about Chauncey. His stomach is a food expander. It goes in a teaspoon and comes out 5 gallons. "Get out of the car," Step Monster orders frantically. "You have to come in with me," I protest. "They won't let me register without an adult." She looks frazzled, and I guess I don't blame her. That much baby puke must be hard to face. I'll run home, change him, wipe down the car. Wait for me, 10 minutes, 15 at the most. What can I do? I haul my backpack out of the SUV and she zooms off around the circular drive. I don't even have a chance to make my usual Parmesan cheese joke. That's what it smells like when Chauncey barfs. When I first came from California to stay with Dad and Step Monster, I thought they ate a lot of Italian food. That was a disappointment, one of many. So here I am in front of Greenwich Middle School, watching swarms of kids arriving for the first day of classes. A few of them glance in my direction, but not many. New girl, who cares? Actually, the new girl doesn't care much either. I'm a short timer. I'm only in Greenwich for a couple of months while my mom is off in Utah shooting a movie. She's not a star or anything, but this could be her big break. After years of paying the bills with bit parts in sitcoms and TV commercials, she finally landed an independent film. Well, no way I could go with her for 8 weeks. Not that I was invited. Eventually a bell rings and the crowd melts into the school. No Step Monster. I am officially late. Which isn't the best way to start my career in Greenwich. But short timers don't stress over things like that. Long before it could come back to haunt me on a report card, I'll be ancient history. I check on my phone. It's been 20 minutes since 10 minutes, 15 at the most. That's SST, Step Monster Standard Time. I try calling, but she doesn't pick up. Maybe that means she's on her way and will be here any second. But a lot of seconds tick by. No barf-encrusted SUV. With a sigh, I sit myself down on the bench at student drop-off and prop my backpack up on the armrest beside me. Step Monster, Her real name is Louise. Isn't all that monstrous when you think about it. She's way less out of touch than Dad, which might be because she's closer to my age than his. She isn't exactly thrilled with the idea of having an 8th grader dropped in her lap right when she's getting the hang of being a new mom. She's trying to be nice to me. She just isn't succeeding. Like when she stands in front of me at a strange school when she stands me, wait a minute, like when she strands me, sorry about that, in front of a strange school when she's supposed to be here to get me registered. The roar of an engine jolts me back to myself. For a second, I think it must be her. But no, a rusty old pickup truck comes sailing up the roadway, going much faster than even Stepmonster would dare. As it reaches the bend in the circular drive, the front tire climbs the curb and the pickup is coming right at me. Acting on instinct alone, I hurl myself over the back of the bench and out of the way. The truck misses the bench by about a centimeter. The side mirror knocks my book bag off the armrest, sending it airborne. The contents, binders, papers, pencil case, gym shorts, sneakers, lunch, are scattered to the 4 winds, raining down on the pavement. The pickup screeches to a halt. The driver jumps out and starts rushing after my fluttering stuff. As he runs, papers fly out of his shirt pocket, and he's chasing his own things, not mine. I join the hunt, and that's when I get my first look at the guy. He's a kid, like around my age. "Why are you driving?" I gasped, still in shock from the near miss. "I have a license," he replies, like it's the most normal thing in the world. "No way," I shoot back. "You're no older than I am." "I'm 14. He digs around in his front pocket and pulls out a laminated card. It's got a picture of his stupid face over the name Parker Ellis. At the top, it says provisional license. Provisional, I ask? "I'm allowed to drive for family business," he explains. "Which is what, a funeral parlor? You almost killed me." "Our farm," he replies. "I take produce to the market. Plus, I take my Grams to the senior center. She's super old and doesn't drive anymore." I'd never met a farmer before. There are a lot of them in LA. I knew Greenwich was kind of the boonies, but I never expected to be going to school with old MacDonald. He hands me my book bag with my stuff crammed in every which way. There's a gaping hole where the mirror blasted through the vinyl. "I'm running late," he stammers. "Sorry about the backpack." He jumps in the pickup, wheels it into a parking space, and races into the building, studiously avoiding my glare. Still no sign of Stepmonster on the horizon. I call again, straight to voicemail. I decide to tackle school on my own. Maybe I can get a head start filling out the forms or something. The office is a madhouse. It's packed with kids who, A, lost their schedules, B, don't understand their schedules, or C, are trying to get their schedules changed. When I tell the harassed secretary that I'm waiting for my parent or guardian so I can register, she just points to a chair and ignores me. Even though I have nothing against Greenwich Middle School, I decide to hate it. Who can blame me? It's mostly Chauncey's fault. But let's not forget about Parker McFarmer and his provisional license. So this book, I think, is going to be very interesting because you know he has some really cool characters. So if you are interested in this book, it's called The Unteachables. Come on down to the library and pick it up. And also, now that the library is more open, we're going to stop the book bites at the end of July. So I hope you have enjoyed them and come on into the library and get some books. Thanks.